Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. It is so rockin' to be back with you. Well, I know I'm getting the seance out late. Psychic Bob's been busy. I've been doing a lot of readings today and just a lot of art projects, and it's been a busy day. So, then I had to take a break and have some food. Then I fell asleep. Anyways, we're getting this out late. But you know what? I don't want to miss spending some time with all of you today. It's very important to me. Anyways, before we get into our seance tonight, just a few quick announcements. One, make sure to see below this video, you will see, I hope you see it, let me know if you see it, you will see a picture of a t-shirt. Psychic Bob has a merchandise shop, a merch shop. So if you want to get some Psychic Bob merch, you can get my Cool Happening t-shirt here. That's me looking into my crystal ball. So anyways, if you like this channel, if you love Spirit Channel, you love Psychic Bob, show me some love. Get a t-shirt and sport it. And tell people you love Spirit Channel. So make sure to check that out. It should be right below this video. Anyways, also, before we get into today, I have to tell you, I'm organizing my jewelry, and I'm so happy I found some jewelry that I couldn't find. I thought I lost it, and I'm wearing it today. And this ties in with channeling, because if you're interested in developing your channeling skill, one of the gemstones you might want to work with is aquamarine. Now, it looks white here on camera, but it's actually kind of a bluish green stone. It's called aquamarine. This is a raw aquamarine. So it's been tumbled, but it's not cut. It's in its raw state. This is a wonderful gemstone to wear if you want to do channeling, because it opens the throat chakra and it helps channeling to come through. So anyways, just a gemstone I want to recommend for you. Also today I'm wearing a massive green agate ring. Isn't that cool? Check that out. And green agate is a wonderful stone. It brings life force. It brings healing. It helps with psychic energy and psychic protection. Agate is always a protection stone. It does other stuff, but if you need a protection stone, really any agate is protective. So today I'm wearing a cool green agate set in silver. How you like that? Isn't that cool? It's a big bling. Sits up high on my hand. But anyways, I want to show those gems to you. So I was so happy because I found them. I had moved them to a different location. And so now I have my big aquamarine and my green agate. And I think they look nice together, actually. Because my aquamarine has a little greenish undertone. And so it works nice. It's hard to tell on this camera. But Psychic Bob got his gems back. Anyways, well, we're going to do a red light seance tonight. It's been cold and rainy here all day, so I think we're going to bring down the lights and bring up the red light. Now, red light seance is held to help increase the opportunity for physical mediumship. So watch during the video. You might see orbs go through. A lot of times people have seen orbs at my seances. We might get extra voices on tape. You never know. But the red light helps facilitate extra phenomena. So we're going to sit in the red light tonight. So let me get set up here, and I will be back with you in just a minute. Stay here. Don't go away. Okay, here we are in the red light. And if you research phenomena, seance phenomena, you'll find out that the red light is a tradition in spiritualism. So we're in the red light. I'm going to settle down and go into trance. Now, the type of mediumship that I usually exhibit is called trance mediumship. And what that means, for those of you who are new here, is that when I am in a trance state, spirit guides overshadow my consciousness and take temporary, and I have to emphasize temporary control of my body to work through my vocal cords and my mouth and my face and body. It is not possession. It is a partnership. It is a blending of energies. I allow their energy to come in and to guide their message through me. So I'm a vessel for them to use. It's not dangerous. It's not scary. So we're going to do that now. So I'm going to settle down and go into trance, and I'll see you when I get back. Oh, well, there we go. Looks like we're in the medium's body. Well, top of the day to all of you out there. This is Fletcher. We're so glad to be back with all of you. We only got a few people be wanting to speak tonight, so I won't be beleaguering the point in staying here. But I just want to pop in, stabilize the vibration, and say good evening to all of you. We'll see you a little later. This is Fletcher over and out. Good evening. Yes, Fletcher, I have attained the body. My name is Alfred. I have come from the spirit world to give you the message that life is eternal. There are many in the world today who think that dead is dead. That is the common saying. But death does not exist. There is only life, and might I add, life eternal. The famous scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, says, "Never was there a time when I was not, nor will you ever be, nor shall you ever cease to exist." Human life, and in fact all life, goes through a cycle, a circle, if you will. Before you come to earth, you live in the spirit world. Each of you are veritable children of the Father of light, infinite intelligence, as well as the Mother of light, who is beauty itself. You are the spirit children of divinity, and therefore you carry within yourselves that spark of eternal life. When you come to the earth, you take upon bodies, material forms, in which to grow your spirit. The problem is that many people come to the earth and they forget who they truly are. They forget the true home. They forget the true identity. Now, it is true that the veil of forgetfulness is placed over the mind. What if you did not know? If you do know who you are in totality, you should never make progress here. The earth is a school, a classroom, if you will. You're sent into the classroom to learn your lessons. And to fully learn your lessons, you must become enmeshed in the material world. But along the way, there are people in your lives, teachers, messages, books, that comes through many ways, of little whisperings to remind you who you truly are. Perhaps you've had the experience of sitting and speaking to someone, and all of a sudden you've had an insight, an awareness, if you will, that says there is another world, a world beyond the current one. Perhaps such thought was a fleeting thought, and soon erased from your mind. It only erased from your material mind. Your spiritual mind retains all knowledge of all things spiritual. It is known as the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind interfaces with the material mind, and this accounts for why you have sudden knowledge and awareness of things that are beyond your current scope of knowledge. The psychic mind operates through this mind. It is the spiritual mind. The human brain is limited in its ability to process all information, but the spiritual mind is unlimited. The thing is that whilst in the body, you tend to be focused on the material mind and the material body, and also the material world. This is how it should be. And so we of the spirit world do not fault those who are forgotten, for it is part of the plan to at least temporarily forget. But it is our hope from the spirit world that those of you who are sojourning here upon the earth might occasionally have a little glimpse of home, to be inspired, to be uplifted. If you're feeling despair and you're thinking that your life is over, do not give in to suicidal thoughts. These self-destructive tendencies will not advance you spiritually. Begin to pray. Ask for hope from the spirit world. Ask for help. All about each of you encamps thousands upon thousands upon thousands of spirits. You're never truly alone. Now, the spirit world does not wish to spy upon you and be in your private business. But know that if you need assistance, we are there. Our vibration is sometimes subtle, and not everyone can perceive it so clearly. But if you settle down, you still your mind, you still your body, you will begin to connect to that other realm. If you sink into a bit of a relaxed state of trance, it allows for the subconscious mind to rise, and it is that mind that interfaces with the spirit world. Most people on the earth today never connect with the spirit world, for they do not understand the two-mind principle. The two-mind principle is where all power lies. Take, for example, this medium here. We use his body to communicate to you. But if he did not have access to his subconscious mind, we would be very challenged to manifest. Because our medium here spent much time in learning how to relax and to let the second mind rise, we are able to get greater control over his physical body. For as we've said, the physical mind and the spiritual mind interact. So, if you're seeking to have a greater connection to our world, it is important that you understand the two-mind principle. And if you should say, Alfred, how is it that we can have a second mind? Well, I remind you of the time when you sleep. Occasionally you have those very vivid experiences where you interact with the spiritual world. Many of you have had dreams where you'll say, Alfred, I know that it was not just a dream, it was a spiritual experience. That is because the spiritual mind intervenes and takes you to a different dimension. Understand that the physical body does not count for anything here in the spirit world. You do have a clone of your physical body, it's called the spiritual body. But it is that spiritual body that operates with the spiritual mind. And so when the spiritual mind and the spiritual body are in harmony, then you are able to have such things as lucid dreams or transdimensional experiences. So I leave you today with the thought to understand that you are more than just your physical brain. You are a spiritual mind as well. Dwell upon these things, and you will begin to understand true wisdom. Fletcher tells me there are others who wish to speak. I shall step from our medium's body. My name is Alfred. Oh, greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Oh, it's such a joy to be here with all of you. I was listening to Alfred. I must say he's the most eloquent speaker. When he speaks of the two minds, I must say I'm as amazed as all of you. Now, some of you will say, Rose, you're a spirit guide. How can you not understand these things? Oh, my dears, try to understand that when you come to the spirit world, you have to learn everything all over again. Now, don't let that discourage you. This is why we of the spirit world tell people upon the earth, start to learn now, start to explore our world now. If you start to explore our world, then when you come here, it'll be much simpler for you. For example, my neighbor Madge was a spiritualist for many years, and when she came to the spirit world, she was able to find her way around quite quickly. And she said to me when I spoke to her, when I came over, she said, do you see, dear Rose, you see, I understand this because I studied it. I read books about spiritualism. I read books about the spirit world and angels and communication. Therefore, I'm able to move between the worlds and amongst the spirits with great ease. You know, my dears, I must say, she did put a great example out for spiritualism while she was on earth. I only wish I had spent more time listening. I think my sojourn here would have been much simpler and much easier. But there you go, we cannot change the past now, dear, can we? But I invite each of you today to start to read. The one thing on earth that you can do with your physical mind that interfaces with the spiritual mind, as Alfred was speaking of, is to read. When you read, you contemplate deep things, you process deep thoughts. This stimulates both minds, and you know that knowledge will travel with you to the spirit world. You know, my dears, I put a lot of my energy into financial blessing on the earth. I had a lot of money, a lot of prestige. But you see, none of that really came over here. When I first came to the spirit world, I protested that the protocols were not being followed. My dears, I must say I was a member of the nobility. I cannot tell you what my real name was, or Rose is only the name I give you. My earthly family are still very prominent, and if I were to reveal who I am, it should create much distress for them. So therefore I go by the name of Rose. And when I first arrived in the spirit world, I was full of pomp and ceremony, and I said, "You do not recognize who I am." And I was quickly told, "Oh yes, my dear, we know who you are, but your titles mean nothing over here." And so, being a great and powerful noble person, had no power here in the spirit world, and I was reduced, I should say, well, to the rank of a commoner again. Oh, my dears, I don't say that to be insulting to those untitled, but for me it was a difficult transition. Had I studied the teachings of spiritualism, I would have known what was truly important and focused on that. And then when I had come to the spirit world, I would not have had such a shock or a disappointment. So, my dears, please do yourselves a favour. Start to read. Start to explore. Do you know one gentleman over here I've spoken with, a splendid chap? His name is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. But over here, this title of Sir, he was a knight on earth, you know, a famous author. His title, he doesn't even use it over here. I said, "Sir Arthur," and he says, "Oh, please, please, dear Rose, you just call me Arthur." He said, "The titles don't mean anything over here." But you see, it's the truth. What is important is the soul light. And I must say, Arthur's light, his soul light, is most impressive. He has spent many years on the earth developing a connection with the spirit world, and it has served him well over here. So do yourselves, my dears, as I said, a favour. Stop to read. Read the spiritualist literature. Look up the truths. Visit mediums. Come to understand how this world that we live in works, and how it is not so far from your world. I remember my neighbour Madge gave me a pamphlet one time. It had a picture of the earth, and all about it, around the earth, were clouds with faces in the clouds. And it said the spirit world surrounds the earthly realm. And I looked at that pamphlet. I thought, oh my, that looks rather spooky. But the truth is, my dear, it was simply a truth being demonstrated. Our world does encompass your world, and your world is interfaced with our world. We always think of heaven as far away, but it's not an issue of distance, my dear. It is an issue of vibration. The vibration of the spirit world is an oscillation that is higher beyond your spectrum, your visible light spectrum. I was never good at science, my dear, but I believe that's the term. So, you see, we operate at a different frequency. That is all. We're not far away. And many of us can hear you. So do talk to us. Do invite us to be part of your world. And you will come to discover that the spirit world is all about you and ever eager to lend a hand of assistance. Fletcher's asked me to step from our medium's body now. He says that the power is waning, and I do not wish to tax this medium. What a kind soul he is to allow us to use him to come and speak to all of you. We do ever so much, my dears, hope that you will reach out to our world and call to us. Please call upon me. My name is Rose. Call me. So, Rose, will you help me? And I shall be glad to help you. If I cannot help you for whatever reason, my dear, know that I will get the message and dispatch another spirit to you. Many of you are waiting to hear from your spirit guides, and so I shall help you to find them as well, and you can ask me to bring them to you, and I shall, my dear. Call upon Alfred. He waits for opportunities to be of service, and if you do, you will find you have a true friend in him as well. Oh dear, it feels that the medium's power is starting to wane, and I do feel the power starting to go. My power is waning, and I feel that I am going with it, my dears. But do please remember to call upon me, and know that I will be of help to you. Well, Tubies, I'm back from Trance, and I tell you, I love to channel. I always feel so good after I channel. The presence of the spirit people really, really brighten my day and uplift my light. And anyways, I enjoyed it. I like channeling in the red light. I feel like it helps me go into a deeper trance. It makes the energy smoother for me. Anyways, but if you've enjoyed this tonight, you want to get a little bit of help for your own spiritual life, you might want to pop over to my website, PsychicBob.com. The link will be below this video. Pick up my book, Messages from Rose. This is my book about my work as a medium, as a trance channel, and working with my spirit guide, Rose. I recommend it. While you're over at my website, I have a number of other books. We got Ouija Mysteries, the Spirit Board Seances, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. We got a few others. Anyways, these are the ones I have. But check out my website. I have a tab up at the top that says Bookstore. If you click on that, you can see all my publications. Anyways, also just to clarify, if you want to buy a t-shirt that is not available at my website, it's only available here at YouTube. So look below this video and you will see the merch store. Somebody wrote and said, I went to your website, I can't find the store. It's not at my website, it's at my YouTube. So t-shirts are at YouTube, books are at my website, okay? Maybe in the future we'll be able to consolidate them. But that's just how it goes right now because they're produced by different people. So anyways, get your t-shirt, get some books, get into your spiritual life. Anyways, guys, thanks for being here. I love all of you. Listen, important announcement. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., be here. We're going to do a live Sunday night hangout with Psychic Bob. We'll talk about the happening scenes of the week. We'll do some psychic readings. So I look forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow. We always have such a fun time. Thank you for being here. I love all of you. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And until then, may all of you always blessed be.